Good morning, children. This is Sanal here. Welcome to another session of EVS class of grade 4. So, this class you are going to learn a new block in social science, block 2, sources of history. So, we'll go into that in detail. So the aim of this class is to identify why certain objects are recognized as sources of history. And the keywords you are going to learn are sources, monuments, epic, inscriptions, artifacts, coins, and monuments. So, our aim of this class is to identify why certain objects are recognized as sources of history. So, here is one question. How can we learn about the history of the town or city where we are living? So, the buildings in the town or city, the written records about that place and stories related by old people living in that place are some ways in which we can know about the history of the city we live in. So here is an activity here for you. So you have to take a 10 rupee currency note or a 50 rupee or a 100 rupee note and read the information given in this box and find out that information. So which are the things you have to find out? You have to see what is the year in which it was issued and languages used on it, the material it is made of, the country it belongs to, and any other information related to that. So try to find out this. So this you have to do yourself. Then we'll see. So once you do this, you can see that English, Hindi, and other 13 languages are used on it. And it is made of paper and it belongs to India. And you can see Gandhi's picture and a number is also given on the note. So this note informed us that there was someone named Gandhi who was a very important person in our country as his picture is on the note. Also, you will see that certain things that can tell us about our past, such as written material called records, monuments that were built in the past, and coins that were used in the past. So, from the note, you will get information of the different languages, and it is made of paper, and Gandhi's picture is there. Who is Gandhi? He is our father of our nation, right? So all this information we are getting from that particular currency note, and all these are some written materials, so they can be called as records. And other things like monuments that were built in the past and the coins that were used in the past, so all these are some written materials from where we can get the information. So what are these written records that can tell us about history, and how are written records are used as sources of history? So which are the main written records? They are books, right? So books are the main sources of history, and the written records give us information on life and times of people living in the past. There are some religious books like Vedas. They are helping us to understand how people lived in the ancient times. So that is also another written document, religious books. Also, some foreign visitors which are they described about India in their writings. Right. So that is also another written record for us to know about the past events. So that also can be considered as source of history. So some kings and rich traders got their own achievements engraved on pillars, rocks or metal plates and are called inscriptions. So this is another written documents like the kings or the rich traders, whatever their achievements, so that they will put it on pillars, rocks and metal plates that time. So these can be called as inscriptions, and that is another written record to study about the sources of history. So in that way books are helping, the religious books also helping us, and the writings on the pillars, rocks and metal plates which are called inscriptions, that are also helping us to know about the sources of history, right? Now here you can see one picture. What is it? So what does this picture show? It's a picture of Taj Mahal, right? Have you seen this building before? Where it is situated? Who built it and why? So by looking at this particular monument, we are able to find out that this is a picture of Taj Mahal and it is situated in Agra, and it was built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his wife about 500 years ago, and it is made up of white marble. So this much information we are getting by studying about this monument. Here again you can see some three pictures. The first one, great bath at Mohenjo-daro, statue of priest king from Mohenjo-daro, and some old gold coins. So what are the different things that you see in the picture and what information can you get from each one of them? Think. So the picture are of coins, monuments and artifacts. So the coins tells us about the material they are made of and the language used. The symbol of a bull, here you can see the symbol of bull in the coin, that tells us that bulls must have been widely used at that time. So the figure of the man tells us that he was probably a king. The clay figure tells us that people then knew how to make things from clay, and its beautiful design tells us about art of that type. Also you can see the great bath, that shows the excellent designing and architecture of those times and tells us that public baths were present then. So this much information we are getting from these artifacts, monuments and coins. Then what are the other things that help us to study our past? How can artifacts, monuments and coins help us to study our past? So the artifacts like household goods, pottery and jewelry, they help us to know what things were people using and wearing and the material used to make them. So this is the information we are getting from artifacts. What about monuments? Monuments tells us about the material used to make them and about the design and architecture of those items. What about coins? Coins tells us about the metals used, languages used and the period they belongs to. So these are the information we are getting from the artifacts, monuments and coins. Now, how do the stories help us to learn about the past? And what are the some other ways in which information about the past is given to us by our elders? So this is another way of getting information. So which can be considered as a source of history. What is that? Stories, songs, and poems. The stories told by parents and the grandparents to their children and grandchildren. They tells us about their family history, which is not found in history books. So these can be called as oral sources, right? So the songs and the poems also tells us about people's lives and events which happened in the past. So now you understood which are the sources of history. Mainly we are talking about, one is the written sources and the second one is the monuments, coins and artifacts. Also we will get information from the stories, poems and the elderly people, the sharing information from them. All these are helping us to know about the history, past. So I hope you understood which are the different sources of history in detail now. Okay, so I will come up with another topic in my next video. So thank you.